Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to do a reaction to the Riley Crossman story and what happened to her. Now I have been sitting on this video for a long time. Someone sent it to me and then I found it. Because the video they sent to me, I felt like it was not something I was gonna put out. I always treat these videos like they are my family because I don't want to put anything out that might disturb the family or something like that. But I did do a little background on Riley Crossman. If you guys ever want to go see these videos by yourself, make sure you go ahead over to Truth for Reality, of course. And make sure you subscribe while you over there. And make sure you like and comment under their videos just to let them know, hey, I watch your videos, blah, 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 okay? It's been a minute since I last put out a video that is basically, I'm trying to catch up because I have a lot of videos that I haven't put out yet. But I feel like I'm caught up to the point to where a new video, now the whole thing about the case, they are new. But anything like before that, I've been sitting on them, just have not had the chance to edit. Since I have started back working full time, it's like I only can record on the weekends because I be so tired through the week. So I try to record like at least 10 videos throughout the weekend, so I at least have 2 weeks of videos backed up. Right now I have none. So I'm trying to get out all these reaction videos. And then throughout the week while I'm on the go, I could just record like some topic videos. Or when I come home late at night, I can record topic videos for you guys. But again, today we're going to react to the Riley Crossman and what happened to her. So we're going to take it all the way back to the Panhandle, which is West Virginia, Berkeley Springs, Martinsburg, those type of things. And this took place 2019 around like May 7th, May 8th. So it's not that old, but yeah, I just been sitting on it forever. So throughout this whole case, they will talk about the boyfriend a lot, the mom's boyfriend, or yeah, boyfriend, and then they also talk about the girl's boyfriend. Now, when I first ran up on this case and I was reading over it, at first, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I thought the boyfriend did it, but then the way they explained it, I watched this video at least twice. The way they explained it was kind of like you can't say he did it. You get what I'm saying? But the boyfriend, which is you guys will always hear Andy. Andy is the mom's boyfriend. And yeah, he was just kind of suspicious, especially at work. The reason why I first said it was the boyfriend because he had deleted messages. And we all know that sometimes we get in a position where we delete messages because we don't want people in our business, and that's mainly why he did it. So yeah, and you have to think about it. This is young love. Like, just imagine when you were 16, 17 and your parent was always in your business. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't want them to know what you're talking about, so you delete messages. So let's go ahead and get into this. This video is probably not going to be that long, but me sitting up here talking is making it long. So let's go ahead and get straight into this video. Girl, minimize yourself. Will you please? Thank you. Then we're going to go ahead and supersize that. So hopefully I don't have a glitch today, and it looks like I might will. Hopefully I can find me like a laptop that actually would agree with this system, because I like it, but I'm not trying to start over. You get what I'm saying? So let's get into this video, you guys. Anytime now. Anytime now.
Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. Population 792 people.
Very
A small town. A very tight-knit community. In the year of 2019, this town would be rocked with a tragedy. Outside of the normal activities such as maybe small burglary, petty theft, things of that sort of nature, this town isn't used to homicide. But even with those being the circumstances, a crime against a child is a whole nother breed. It's of a different caliber.
It's gonna
take someone real sinister to harm anyone young. Whether you harm someone young or old, it's a bad act regardless. But to snatch the life of someone who just entered this world, not even knowing who they fully are yet, is something different. But it hurts even worse when it's someone close. December 22nd, 2003.
I really don't pay to get these ad removed. I don't know if I want to pay that, but it looks like I'm going to have to.
I have a challenge for all of you.
I have a challenge for you.
Your mom's, your dad, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey. Wait, Mom, before you...
Make sure y'all go get Honey. I don't know, you guys. I hate this system. If you know any more that I could use, let me know below, okay? Please. Thank you. Because this is crazy. Anytime now. Anytime now.
The world would make way for Riley Crossman. Riley was the live wire. The people around her explain her as being bubbly. You know, she loves to dance. She has the laughter that's contagious. Just everything you could possibly want in a person rolled up into one girl.
Oh.
Riley was actually from Martinsburg, West Virginia. However, things with her parents didn't work out. It went south, so her mom decided to move to Berkeley Springs. Her father still remained in Martinsburg, so she would spend the majority of her time back and forth between her father and her mother.
Oh, she looked like her mom.
In 2019, she would be living with her mother in Berkeley Springs. She would be 15 years old, attending Berkeley Springs High School. Going through the normal stages of life, Riley's life consisted of school, family, and friends. A lot of friends. The town only has about a 3.7-mile radius, so in a small place like that, it's easy to grow close to others. And she do exactly that. The small town of Berkeley Springs has a lot to offer in terms of friendship. But,
it's small.
You know, for her, life was special at this time because she got this boyfriend. And not just any old boyfriend, the boyfriend that she would call the first love of her life. Spending hours upon hours on the phone with each other. And I think the longest recorded call of them on a FaceTime call is 48 hours.
Ooh,
that's 2 full days of constant contact through FaceTime.
Y'all remember when y'all was young, y'all used to stay on the phone all the time. And your mom tell you, get the hell off my phone. You remember that? But 48 hours, I remember when I was younger, I used to stay on the phone 24/7. We weren't talking or we weren't nothing. The phone would point at the ceiling. We'll have conversations here and there. He'll play the video game while I'm just sitting there doing whatever I got to do. So, we were all there once upon a time. So don't think like 48 hours to a teenager is like 5 hours. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not that long. Not to them. Not if you're on the phone with someone you truly love. It's not long. It's like time just flew by. And you've been on the phone for 48 hours and you still think like that's not long.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of dedication. That shows that a lot of emotion went into that relationship. And any woman who's watching this video can think back to her high school days. You know, when that crush finally noticed you, or you finally talked on the phone and somehow you just got lost in time. Things move very quickly. You seem to be falling for each other, and everything seems okay at that moment. But underneath all the love for her boyfriend, and the love from her family, she still somehow seemed to think that people didn't care about her. And I can say that judging from the parents, it wasn't a love issue. She wasn't neglected. She was very loved. I think it was more just so those
Going
teenage
through
years of rebellion.
teenage,
You know,
yeah.
those years where we all get into it with our parents because we just hate authority at that time. And it was more so just feelings of,
They
wanting
hovering.
to be free. Because the older you get, the more free you want to be. But,
Right.
once you cross the threshold and realize that you really
Can't
grown,
go back.
we all wish that we could go back, don't we? Go back to those days when life was carefree, before we understood what a light bill was or the significance of rent, when life was truly free.
Right.
Those were the years that she was living. So the year is 2019.
Don't we all wish we can go back? Like when you're younger, you'll be like, oh, and your parents always tell you, well, you can't do this. Well, I can't talk to you about this until you get a little bit older. Like, Mom, how old do I got to be before you actually tell me what you got to tell me? Then when you do get older to the point to where they can tell you, do they actually tell you? I also feel like we get 16, 15, 16, we be like, oh, I can't wait till I get 18 so I can get the hell out of here. But then when you get like 18, 19, 20, 21, it's time for you to be on your own, and you come to a realization like, hey, I wish I was at home and don't have to think about bills. You get what I'm saying? Because bills stress you the hell out. Okay. If ain't nobody told you and you younger and you watching me, if you younger, please enjoy your younger days. Because when you get older, these bills gonna crack your, you know what, okay? And your wallet is gonna be a little flimsy. Now you can have free money to go out and party with, but now these bills, woo, Jesus, just take the pain away.
It's May 9th. Riley doesn't show up to school that day. When her mother gets the notification that she missed classes, she goes to look for her, checks around the school, calls around the friends. In the beginning, it's not really much of a panic. You just think, they're being hard-headed right now, probably out doing something they have no business doing. So she goes and looks for her, but there's no sign of Riley. No one has seen her. No one has heard from her. She had last spoken to her daughter on May 8th. The day before she didn't show up to school, she had actually contacted her mother to see if her friend could come over to her house. That way she could get changed for a game. She says, all right. She goes to work, and that's the last time she'll hear from her daughter.
Wow.
Now, knowing that the town population is so small, you know that the community kicks in right away.
Right.
We have to find Riley. Where is she?
A search is underway for a missing teenage girl in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. According to the Morgan County Sheriff's Department, 15-year-old Riley Crossman was last seen at her home in Berkeley Springs on May 8th. These are pictures and details posted to the Morgan County Sheriff's Department's Facebook page. Now, in addition to local law enforcement, the search for Riley includes the FBI, West Virginia State Police, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The Sheriff's Department reports a large coordinated search is scheduled for tomorrow.
The town begins a search for 15-year-old Riley Crossman. However, it doesn't lead to any results. They don't find her. The police go through the normal routine. It's time to start looking into other possibilities. So the interrogations begin. On the day that Riley went missing, her mother would return home after finding out that her daughter didn't attend school. She lived there with Riley, her two other sons, and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's name is Andy. When he gets home, she notifies her boyfriend that Riley is missing. She can't find her. Andy seemed real concerned. Andy immediately goes inside, puts his things down, hops on a bike, and then patrols the neighborhood, says he's going to go find Riley. So while he's off doing that, the police arrive on the scene, and they begin to inspect Riley's room, just, looking for anything out of the ordinary. Right. Now, one of her brothers had went in her room just to check and make sure everything was all right, but When the police went in there, they noticed that the TV was knocked over, and they even noticed blood on some of the items in the room. Shortly after, her boyfriend would be returning from a trip out of town. When he was questioned by police, he would refer that he was out of town. However, Riley hasn't texted him in the last 24 hours. So one person they were hoping, if anyone knew where she was at, it would have been him.
Right.
But he can't provide any information to help. So with no real information to work with, the police do the only thing that they can do at this time, and that's continue to search. Now, you can pull phone records, you can search GPS, but these things take time. And time is of the essence when someone is missing. The police would ask Riley's boyfriend, "Can we see your phone? We'd like to see the messages between you and Riley." Well, her boyfriend deleted all of them. He says the reason why he deleted them is because he didn't want his parents finding out. I guess you know the things that they were talking about on the phone, which is totally understandable. Parents go through phones. You don't really want them in your personal life.
Right.
At this point, things don't seem to be working out for the authorities. That is until her boyfriend remembers one small detail, that although he did delete the messages on his phone, everything that goes to his phone goes to his iWatch as well. So they decide to go check his iWatch at his house. And when they check the iWatch, they would find something very damning. There would be 2 text messages sent by Riley. The first text message would read, "Andy is in my room." That's right.
That's the mom
her
boyfriend.
mother's boyfriend. And the last text message would read, "I'm scared, babe." That would be the end of the conversation between Riley and her boyfriend. However, her boyfriend was asleep when she sent those messages, so he never saw them. So now at this point, it's looking like the police have a strong lead. That's a very damning message. So the authorities turn their attention to Andy. When the police question Andy, he tells them that the day of May 8th was normal. He comes home, takes a shower, goes to sleep. Then he gets up in the morning and he goes to work at 4 a.m. Now, the police already have the information, so they know he's lying. But what they like to do is give you the rope to hang yourself. That way later on in court, if need be, they can use it. So they still run down everything, getting all the evidence they can, building as strong of a case as they possibly can. So they go and interview the co-workers. On the same day that Riley was reported missing, Andy would go to work that day. But his co-workers would detail that he was overly eager to work. I mean, they say you normally have to drag this man out of bed to make him work, but today he just seemed a little bit too eager. It was him and another guy. They all do remodeling houses, and what the boss does is he splits them up into teams, sends them out into different sites. Well, him and another co-worker are sent to one specific site. Within a couple of minutes, the boss calls them back and says, "Well, guess what? You messed up someone's cabinets yesterday, so you need to go fix them." They get back to go fix these cabinets that the day prior they had messed up. But when they get to the house, Andy jumps in the driver's seat. Now, what's off about this is everyone testifies that Andy never drives, but this day he did. He jumps in the driver's seats and tells his co-worker he has to go meet a girl up the street. He'll be right back. Only time start to elapse, and Andy doesn't come back. This has now been a few hours he's missing from the job site. So the boss calls his wife.
Andy went hiatus.
When is Andy coming back to work? She has no idea that Andy is not at work. That phone call is strange in itself. However, Riley's mother would receive 2 weird phone calls that day. Andy had an ex-girlfriend whom he had kids with, and they were very cordial with the new couple. His girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend got along. So she calls Riley's mom and says, "Hey, there's a truck backed in between your shed and your house. Why is there a truck back there? It just seems suspicious." Well, the truck actually belonged to his employer, so the wife didn't think too much about it. I'm guessing she's thinking because it is his employer's truck, It's weird that he's driving, but there must be an explanation.
Right.
Her mother would go on about her day, finish working, not really giving too much thought about it, but she would find out why later. Now, armed with the new information that Andy took off from work, they would decide to track Andy. But guess what? Andy is smart. Andy decided not to take his phone to work. I guess he knows about tracking, but I don't think he counted on the police to be determined as they were to catch him. So they went around town and they found all the surveillance cameras. Anywhere he could have possibly been. Tracked
and
him
plus, that's a
where
small
he left
town.
from the job site all the way to another area. When they realized he went somewhere, and then shortly he was seen coming back on the camera 19 minutes later, he must have been up to something. So they decide to go and search the entire area.
He laid down right to it.
Radius. And when they get there, they find disturbing
Sad
news.
news out of northern West Virginia, where police say they believe they have found the remains of a missing 15-year-old girl. Riley Crossman was missing for more than a week until the remains were discovered in a remote area near Martinsburg. Hours after the discovery, her mother's boyfriend was arrested and charged in her murder. Investigators say that he has been their person of interest from the very beginning.
Andy would be arrested just shortly after finding the body of Riley. It would only take the jury a couple of hours to convict him after the trial. But there is one more detail about this case that's kind of eerie. Andy and his girlfriend, which is Riley's mom, had an employer, a former employer. Both Andy and Riley's mom worked for this employer as well as renting an apartment from them. Or should I say the upstairs room in the same house. Well, Andy was fired from that job and they were also evicted from that place. Well, on the night that he killed Riley, early in the morning, he would make a flurry of calls to their former employer. I think it's very fortunate that that employer was asleep and didn't pick up, because I honestly believe that Andy was coming to I guess even the school. He had already taken out Riley. He had nothing to lose. He was also very high. So I honestly believe that morning he was calling his former employer, it was meant to kill him. Only fate stepped in the way, and he slipped right through those flurry of calls. The cause of death for Riley was undetermined. Due to advanced decomposition, they just couldn't figure it out. She had no organs, so there was nothing to test. Although they do believe that it was most likely done by suffocation. The motive of this case is still unknown. Andy pled not guilty, and even after the conviction, didn't offer a reason as to why he did it. Although we as humans can only speculate, there's a reason why he crept in her room that late at night. And due to the condition of the body, certain tests can't be ran. So there's no way to prove whether or not she was violated. I surely hope that one day he admits to it and tells everyone exactly why he did it. Although I know in my heart he won't say a thing until all of his appeals are exhausted and he has no way out of prison. Because that's when most of them decide to speak. Because then they have leverage. They'll offer you the story in return for specific items or favors while in prison. When Riley left, the entire town mourned for her. She definitely left her mark on this world. Rest in heaven. Dance in heaven. Enjoy paradise. Rest in peace, Riley Crossman. Your legacy will forever live on.
Here in Berkeley Springs State Park, hundreds have gathered to remember the life of Riley Crossman, a fact that her friends say would have surprised the 15-year-old high school student.
Saw you paint a picture of her face.
When they were 15.
Face I wasn't even close to.
So, I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah. Sometimes we get trapped in situations we just don't know how to get out of. Um, I feel like I really don't want to call him her stepdad because they went married, but I just feel like he did it for some reason. Um, and when she did let somebody know that he was in the room with her, and I'm kind of happy that she used to tell her boyfriend everything, because I feel like if she didn't tell him that, I feel like the case would never have got solved. But since it was a small town, you have to think about it. If something that big in a small town, it's a knit community. Like, they real close as a big family. So if something that big happened in that small town, police is and all these people, they gonna be all over that. So yeah, we'll see. I really want to know how many years he got. If you guys are watching and you know this story fully, let me know below. I want to know how many years he got. I want to know where's the boyfriend, how's he's coping with it. I want to know how the family coping with it. It's a lot I want to know about this case, and I send my condolences out to the Riley Crossman family. If this video is like super, super old and this happened like years ago, I'm sorry to bring it back up. But I just been holding on to this video because I wanted to do it some justice. I didn't just want to put it out and say like mean and hurtful things without having the full story. So yeah, it's crazy. I tried to do stories to bring to light of some things that happen. But like I said, go follow Truth for Reality um on their channel. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, make sure you comment, all of those good things. And if you are new to my channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And yeah, guys, let's go on to the next one. I'll see you guys in my next video. You guys be blessed.